This is the case of Andrew Miller. If you want to know more, please continue watching.
You are watching Roll a Mile in My Shoes TV.
On August 30th, 1964, 19-year-old Andrew Miller was shot and killed by John Lo Whitaker, age 44. On August 30th, some whites had blocked an intersection and blacks, including 19-year-old Miller, raced to the scene of the blockage. Some white people reported that Miller and other blacks attacked a car that a white family was driving. This murder, the murder of James Miller, 19 years old, was following a confrontation that occurred during overnight racial tensions in Butts County because the day before, Miller, 19 years old, had been beaten by some white men, and this was reported in the local newspaper, which is the Jackson Progress. As all this happened, 44-year-old John Lo Whitaker claimed that he sat nearby in another car and he shot Miller twice when Miller tried to open his truck door. Now, within a few hours of this happening, a county coroner's jury convened and ruled that Whitaker, described by the newspaper as a widely known resident of Jenkinsburg, was justified in killing Miller. After this happened, the victim, 19-year-old James Miller, was transported to nearby Sylvan Grove Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Immediately after killing the victim, Whitaker drove to Covington, Georgia, where he surrendered to Butts County Sheriff's. After all this had happened, passengers that were involved in the incident gave statements, including the passengers that were in the car with Miller. They indicated that they went to the scene after hearing reports that the road had been blocked by white youth. Now, the local coroner's jury acquitted Whitaker, ruling that he acted in self-defense. In the fall of 2008, the agent that was reworking the cold case, and after searching relevant databases, came up with a death certificate for 44-year-old Whitaker, and it shows or states that he died of a heart attack on December 19th, 1987. Fortunately for Mr. Whitaker, he cannot be tried for the death of James Miller, and this is also unfortunate for the family of James Miller because, as I stated earlier, Mr. Whitaker died of a heart attack in 1987. So that means that Miller's family won't have any closure to the death of their loved one, and that means also that Mr. Whitaker got to kill an individual and walk around free like nothing ever happened because the jury concluded that this was in self-defense, which, if you ask me, I think it was just a thing of you know, um, a white man, saw a black man, although they were basically, you know, in the same town, he saw him as, less than, as most black people were back then, and he decided to shoot him, whether it be in self-defense or whether it be, racially motivated, which I'm pretty sure that was because, like I always say, this was back during when a time when people were saw as less than as we still are today, and they, you know, white people felt like that they saw them as they shouldn't be able to have any rights or anything of that nature. But as I always say, also, if anybody's grandparents or great grandparents are alive and they heard, Mr. Whitaker or anybody else who was there that day brag about what happened to James Miller, please come forward and give the family some type of closure so that it can be stated in the records, although this case is closed. But at least it can be stated somewhere in the records that, Mr. Whitaker did brag about being able to kill a black man and get away with it, so that it can at least be cleared up whether it was most racially motivated or if it was done in self-defense. But if you guys like this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.